YouTube. What up, y'all? It's your boy noluckmacK, and I'm back with another video, man. I know it's been a minute. In my last video, I kind of gave you a breakdown. I'm kind of done doing these reaction videos, but you know what I'm saying, I just don't got all my equipment yet. But I'm gonna hit the streets soon, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit the streets, get this on the street content, messing with people, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Tried to do the vlog. The vaccine mandate in New York City pretty much killed that for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't really go do nothing fun or interesting. But at least I went viral on TikTok one time for one time. But as you can see by the video in the title, man, we talking about Uptown Manhattan today, man. We talking about the 200 gang Dyckman. Shout out to my boys in Dyckman Yard. The Bloods versus Threeble. That's Trinitarios. A lot, you know what I'm saying? That's real Washington Heights. Like the 190s to about the 160s, I want to say upper 160s, like, yeah, about 160s, because the 150s is pretty much still Harlem, depending on what side you on, depending on what side of Manhattan on. If you're on the west side, that's still Harlem. That's Harlem right there. Matter of fact, they don't even go that high. They don't even go past 150. No, 155th. Yeah, that's still considered Harlem right there. 155, because that's what Polo Grounds at. Polo Grounds is considered Harlem, not the Heights. But people consider the Heights like anywhere from like 160 to like the 190s. Then 200. You got Inwood, Dyckman. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to high school. George Washington High School, you already know, so I spent a lot of my teenage years in Washington Heights running around with my Dominican brothers. You heard? Some friendly, no, majority friendly. You know what I'm saying? Majority, especially people my age, you know what I'm saying? The American born ones, no problems, no issues. I say the ones who are not born here, they're a little more aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, where they come from, a little more rougher, a little more tougher. So they bring that energy here, but it's sometimes a little unnecessary, just based on the times. Like in terms of like trying to be a gangster out here, you better off just being a hustler in New York City. Like just being a gangster in New York, it's kind of pointless. Like you don't get paid for being a tough guy out here. Like you don't really got like he an enforcer, you know what I'm saying? Dude, like all that type of 80s, like where it was dudes known for just like letting their gun go. You could hire them, you could pay them, blah 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 blah. So without further ado, 420 Club. It's time to spark up, my nigga. We gonna watch this video.
Operating in the vicinity of Dyckman Street, a street that runs through the Dyckman houses in Manhattan. The area, Dyckman Street, has been known for its eateries, nightlife, including La Marina. You know, the cars, the glitz, its Spanish culture, the woman, all that. Also,
the women.
Are familiar with the basketball tournaments which take place on Nagel Avenue. If you ball, this is the place to be, where high-profile bowlers come to showcase their skills.
Every year, Dickman Park is litty. Nigga, Dyckman Games is lit every year. Every year.
Similar to how Rucker Park.
Yes, it's literally. I don't want to say the Spanish Rucker Park. I'm just gonna say it's another Rucker Park. It's a legendary court. A lot of big names has been on that court. A lot of big names, like some I could think of right off the top. I know KD played there before. I know KD for sure, but that's all I got right now.
Back in the early 90s. But of course, it's a utopia, the tip of the iceberg. Let us dive into the criminal activities and underbelly of this neighborhood. So, this is a quick story. This crew we are going to talk about today were known as the 200 Gang. 200 members have engaged in murder, shootings, robberies, and wholesale trafficking of narcotics, often obtained by force or theft. Additionally, 200 has become embroiled in violent rivalries with other Manhattan street gangs. Between at least 2014 through approximately 2016, the 200 was feuding with a nearby street gang, whose territory focused on the area around 193rd Street in Manhattan. That gang operated in and around the Inwood Garden.
This is I never looked at the Heights from an aerial view before. That's a fact. My school right there. That little baseball field, football field, that's my school right there. They said they called it Fort George Washington because something about George Washington, some war. This was the highest point of of Manhattan or something where you could see everything or whatever, something like that, some significance, and that's why our school's George Washington. Blah 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 blah.
Complex and referred to itself as 193. They controlled drug sales, including sales of heroin, crack, marijuana, and pills, in its territory. The 193 to 200 rivalry came
I'm gonna clean, no disrespect. I never even heard of 200 gang. Like, I never even heard of 200 gang. Oh, they said 2014. See, I graduated high school 2014, so if that game came about 2014, then I've definitely never heard of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, never really heard of these dudes. Because, like, Three Blue niggas is Washington Heights, Inwood, everybody has all of them. So it's like 200 gang, that sound pretty specific to Dyckman houses. So it probably was like an offshoot. Niggas tried to start their own little shebang bang.
in the summer of 2016.
Because most of the niggas in my school use either Tribal or YG, because the Bronx is right here. And you know what I'm saying, it was OY niggas there, but nah, it wasn't. They had no numbers. It probably like two, like from Lower Manhattan. You know what I'm saying, mid Harlem, like that side of town. Like nah, it was like two. Both of them was my mans. So like yeah, they ain't have no type of numbers in my school at the time.
When 193 members went to Dyckman armed with multiple firearms and opened fire on 200 members in the area. At least one 200 member returned fire, wounding the 193 member. Following that shootout, the defendant and other leaders of 193 and 200 held a meeting with each other to squash the beef, meaning to put an end to the conflict. Following that meeting, the violence between the two groups quieted. The 200s enriched themselves, their fellow gang members, and their associates by engaging in a variety of criminal activity involving drugs, robberies, and burglaries. The 200s have conspired to steal and then resell well in excess of 1 kilogram of heroin and 5 kilograms of cocaine, as well as large quantities of marijuana. Several 200s, including the defendant,
One thing you could get in Washington Heights, no problem, my brother, some bud, bro. He's got a bud man on every block, every corner, in front of every building. Somebody selling something, bro.
Pharmacies to steal and resell prescription opiates and engage in a practice they refer to as breaking wholesale drug traffickers, in which 200 members pass off either fake money to purchase real drugs or fake drugs in exchange for real money. When a breaker played the role of a drug seller, he would give the customer a small sample of real drugs, then take the customer's money in exchange for a larger quantity of fake drugs. When a breaker played the role of a drug customer, he would take the drugs and give the seller a package full of cut-up paper or $1 bills, with several higher denomination bills on top. Milton, aka Blanquito, was the founder and the leader of the 200 gang. As the leader, he recruited individuals to join the 200 and promoted individuals to higher status within the gang. The defendant also served as the representative for the 200 at meetings with rival gangs, where disputes were discussed. Blanquito's commitment to the 200 is reflected in his tattoo on his neck, which states 200, and he flaunts his rank within the gang in his social media profiles, which proclaim him to be the Big 200. He was previously convicted for kidnapping in connection with an arrest that occurred when he was 16 years old. This conviction resulted in a 3-year term of incarceration. During this period of incarceration, he was second in...
If I'm not mistaken, on this block right here that they showing, it's a mural of the two little boys who got swept up. No, one of them who got swept up in the current because his man's jumped into the water right here in Dyckman, thinking that, you know, like it's like the island, but nah, that New York City currents is strong because that's deep water right there. Ain't no shoreline. Like, that's just water right there. Like, homie jumped in after his mans, and both of them, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace to both of them.
Of the Trinitarios gang at the facility. After Blanquito's release, his criminal activity only escalated. As a leader of the 200, Blanquito engaged in violence, including by participating in multiple non-fatal shootings. Blanquito played a critical role in those shootings. In addition, in 2014, Blanquito got into a shootout with members of the Trinitarios and shot an individual in the lower body. October 2, 2014. Orlando Rivera, 42, was an innocent bystander walking home from...
And what's a reoccurring theme in all of these videos, bro? A random person always gets shot, bro. Like, bullet never met for them. But yet, dudes are still just running around, just blinking. Not even hitting their target, bro. The city's too crowded for that. For those type of antics, bro, like the city too crowded, bro. These dudes never hit their target, bro.
His new job when a gunman opened fire just 2 blocks from his Audubon Avenue apartment. A security video from a nearby business showed 4 suspects in a burgundy van zipping past as a wounded Rivera clutched at the fatal bullet hole in his back. A 17-year-old girl was shot in the foot, and a 20-year-old man was wounded in both legs when the gunfire erupted outside 1653 St. Nicholas Avenue. Both were hospitalized in stable condition. Rivera was standing near the 2 younger victims when the criminal quartet approached and started firing. The foursome jumped into the Chevy Astro van after the first salvo.
Just to, you know, I smoke so much fucking weed at this very area that y'all looking at right now. So much weed in a 4-year process, bro. I smoke so much weed over there, bro. Like I said, this little green patch, this baseball field, that's the track school, that's the whole school right there. I did my whole 4 years, nigga. Smoke mad bud. All of this green forest over there, mad bud. This is 19, no, that's not 191. I think the school's on like 193. Well, I just want to let it be known, you know what I'm saying? 420 Club, just let it be though, you know what I'm saying? Where it start there, but that's where I became myself.
Ring a second round at the 3 victims as they sped away. Rivera collapsed from a pair of gunshot wounds about a block away. Cops said he was shot in the back, and the family friend said a second bullet caught him in the leg. Rivera, who had 8 prior marijuana-related arrests on his record, DWI charges and other busts, died a short time later at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center.
None of that shit even mattered because that was not his beef. So you bringing up, you got an L for that one. We ain't need to know about none of his criminal history, bro. That man is just resting in peace. Like, we did not know him for that. So we did not need to know that. That was L journalism right there.
The wounded 20-year-old victim went down in the first volley of gunshots, with some friends trying to hustle their bleeding pal into the apartment building. They were forced to abandon him when the second round began. They had to put him down, said a witness. The shots didn't stop. It was like automatic weapons. Allegedly, Christian, aka Banger, and other 200 members were responsible. At least 15 shots were fired from 2 different firearms. On December 17, 2015, Blanquito participated in an attempted murder with one of his co-defendants, Yasmo, aka Little Half. They traveled to the vicinity of the intersection of Sickle Street and Sherman Avenue in Manhattan. Their intended victim was a drug dealer who had showed disrespect toward Little Half in territory controlled by the 200. In retaliation, the defendant, Little Half, and other 200s tracked down their victim, and Little Half punched the victim repeatedly. The group then left the area in order to retrieve a firearm. Blanquito provided a gun to Little Half, and a few minutes later, they returned to the location where Little Half fired multiple shots toward the victim. On October 8th...
I'm like, my son got the play-by-play. Whole time they think that their life is anonymous. Ain't nobody gonna know. Here I am learning about it on YouTube.
2016, Blanquito and another 200 member named Priva robbed a pharmacy in the vicinity of 1985 University Avenue in the Bronx. 2 days later, Blanquito, Priva, and another member named Huvi robbed another pharmacy in the vicinity of 212 Nagel Avenue in Manhattan. They then supplied pills stolen from those pharmacies to other individuals for resale. Samantha was affiliated with this network of thieves between approximately 2014 and 2018. On various occasions throughout that period, she participated in breaking with 200 members and associates. During that same period, she also helped plan and carry out a violent drug robbery with other members of that same network. Specifically, on November 8, 2016, Samantha and 3 crew members, including her co-defendants, Hoovy and Noel, aka Crazy, planned and carried out a home invasion robbery of a marijuana dealer in Manhattan.
I'm gonna come clean. That block he just showed y'all right there. Hit this block in the summertime, bro. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day, man. You got confidence. You like talking to women. Hit this block on a good summer day, bro. When it's nice and hot. When it's nice and hot, yo, you gotta go to the Heights. When it's in the 80s, 80 degrees, 90 degrees. It's a beautiful place.
AKA Crazy, planned and carried out a home invasion robbery of a marijuana dealer in Manhattan. Crazy had already amassed 5 criminal convictions before this situation, including menacing, assault, and robbery. So, when planning the robbery, the crew gathered a revolver, a fake gun, a taser, zip-tees, masks, and gloves. After gathering these supplies, the defendant, whose role was to act as the getaway driver, drove the crew in her car to the victim's apartment building at 510 West 188th Street, Upper Manhattan. Meanwhile, the other 3 crew members divided the revolver, the fake gun, and the taser among themselves. Once the crew arrived at the victim's apartment building, the other 3 crew members exited the Samantha's car and entered the building. While she waited outside the building in her car, the other 3, who were wearing masks and gloves, hid in the stairwell inside the building near the victim's apartment. Once the rest of the crew was inside, Samantha called the victim and asked him to meet her outside the building so that she could purchase marijuana from him. Falling for the ruse, the victim left his apartment, went downstairs to meet the Samantha for the sale, and then returned to his apartment. As the victim opened his apartment door, Crazy Hoovy and another dude ambushed the victim and forced their way into his apartment. The robbers were wearing masks and gloves. Crazy was carrying the real gun, while the others carried the fake gun and the taser. As the robbers pushed their way into the apartment, Crazy pointed the gun at the victim. Once inside the apartment, one of the crew members tasered the victim, causing him to collapse. Crazy and one of the others forced the victim to restrain himself with zip-tees. The crew member, Psy, another 200 member, along with others, carried...
Alright, these shits be dragging, bro. They be dragging, bro. My son gotta get his storytelling skills a little better, get that robotic voice up out of here. That's what be getting me bored. But my son be covering the stories for the city, you know what I'm saying? He gotta get on his academics, you know what I'm saying? Put your voice on, bro. But it's been your boy noluckmacK, man. That's another video. I'm gonna find more stuff to react to, man. If you want to see me watch something, you want to see me smoke something, man, drop it down in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube stuff, man.